And this is my farewell video. This is my goodbye to 2K, my last little rant. And I know the title is 2K19, but the truth is, this is my goodbye to 2K. I'm done with 2K. I just can't do it anymore. I'm sorry. You can. I'm not gonna sit here and list off 1,000 reasons. Watch YouTube videos, from scriptedness to crazy ass animations that don't make any sense, to stats that are nuts, to player builds that they gave the NPCs, but we can't even make these builds. Like, even at a 99, you can't be these builds. It's just nuts. It's nuts. And then I was playing a little bit ago. I was just actually streaming just a little bit ago, and this happened. And I realized something that I've realized a few times before, and I've never really taken it into full account. This game is not just a video game. There is a league, a professional league based around this game. The 2K League. They sell us copies of 2K19, telling us and expecting us to believe that this is what the professional players are playing. And if you don't believe that, then why do you do your tryouts here? Why do you do your pro-am here? You got to win your 100 games of pro-am to even be considered. All of these things you have to do inside of this game, because this is what the pros are playing, right? This is what the pros are playing. This is what the fucking pros are playing. You're telling me that I'm supposed to tune in and watch some dude talk about how badass he is and how he's the league leader in points or steals or whatever it may be. And this is supposed to attract me to your game when I'm playing 2K and I see this happen, and I know that from what you're telling me, this is the exact same game that your pro players are playing. Because let's be honest, the idea behind anybody who's really actually even willing to grind this game at this point is the idea that maybe you get good enough to actually try out for the league or something like that. Because the game's boring as fuck to grind. It really is. And if you actually stop and think for a second what you're doing, you're grinding it out, suffering through game after game after game of nonsense that absolutely sucks. If you're not a park player, what are you doing? What are you doing? If you hit 99, do you really think you're ever going to play another MyCareer game? Yeah, you're a 99. You think that's going to be that much? You're going to play one or two. Just to see if there's that much difference between 98, where you were already dominating the fuck out of everybody. There's no point. There's absolutely no point. But my whole thing on this is supposed to be based on a game it's supposed to be the game that the pros are playing. And they tell us to keep playing and practicing, and that maybe we can join the league one day and all this. How are the pros really playing this? This is what they're playing. And you may say, oh, well, you caught this one instance. No, I've caught thousands of these. And you can go look on YouTube. There are glitch videos everywhere where people are going, what the fuck? So, just to put this in context, yes, he beats me around because the animation won't let me turn around fast enough. I'm holding turbo and towards the rim right now. And my guy just stays in that animation until he gets underneath, because this is a scripted play. This is a 100% scripted play without question, so Bell can score inside. And you may at this point say, no, he fucking beat you. Okay, I'll give you that. He beat me inside, whether it's animation or speed or whatever, skill. Okay, he beat me inside. And at this point, you may say, okay, well, if you're a pro player, he beat you inside. Hey, he beat you inside, right? And what are you going to say about that? Now, right here, you might go, wow, this could go 50-50, right? Because you're a little bit to the left there, a little bit actually to the right of the ball. So maybe, right? Maybe you don't get the block. Maybe he gets it off clean if he just releases real quick, maybe like with a curry pop or something, right? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. This is the game the pros are playing right now, right? That they want to watch. They want me to watch guys play for $250,000. And I'm supposed to believe that whoever wins this is the best 2K team, are the best players at 2K. Last year, you won $250,000 off a fucking backboard drop, which was garbage enough. And we thought for sure, okay, first year, I think that's what most people chopped it up to. First year, you fucked up. All right, fine, whatever. We'll let it go. How many? Here's my real question. How many of these teams in the 2K League that get win after win after win or whatever are getting scores like this? Because it doesn't stop here. You may think, okay, you found a place where your hand goes through the ball. Whatever. No. No, no, no. Yeah. Yeah. And what's even funnier than that is that the dialogue said the ball went off the backboard. The dialogue was something about the ball going off the top of the backboard. So literally all three of these things are absolutely wrong. Number one, it's a block all day. It's a block all day. A foul at least. A foul at least. It's not about did you get there in time or anything. The ball goes into my hand. Into my fucking hand. This is the game that the pros are playing. Now, how many, let me honestly ask people who are watching these 2K games, how many of these games have you stopped every time there's an inside score to see if this is happening? I would challenge someone to go back. I'm not going to do it. I don't want to watch this shit. But I would challenge somebody to do that. Go back and look at these 2K games that have already been broadcasted. And look at how many plays where like they just shoot right through hands. And where the ball just glitches right through people. Or when you get a pass to you and somebody who's behind you is suddenly right in front of you and gets the steal. How many times is this happening? Because it's clearly, I mean, this is proof. I didn't make this shit up. This is a live my game. I was just streaming this game in my last stream. This is professional gaming right here. That's professional gaming. This is what our pros are. These guys that are so amazing at this game. This is what they're doing. They're playing the same game, right? The exact same game. Okay. Yeah. This is why I'm done. It's why I'm done with 2K. Is that, and you may say, okay, your player made one bad play or something went wrong. You don't understand. When I say that this has been bad for a long time, yeah, this player right here, he's only a 90 overall. How many 90 overalls do you have? Because I have 3. I also have about 4 or 5 other 89s and a bunch of 88s and maybe 1 or 2 87s. So let's talk about time in game if I'm going to make these statements and say that this game is broke and scripted and completely fucked. And not just as a video game that I bought and I'm unhappy with my purchase. As in, you're telling me that there's a 2K league for these guys. A fucking 2K league for these guys. I put in a lot of goddamn time. You cannot say that I haven't. A lot of these 88s are pushing 89s. My 89, I know I have an 89 somewhere. That may have been one of the ones I deleted. I've deleted 2 other builds that were 85 plus. I've done a shit ton of builds. I put in a crap load of work. I've played. My actual VIP, I think, is like almost 300 games or something like that. Every one of them at 12-minute quarters. What? At this point, I have a pretty good idea where this game's at. And I'm telling you, number one, do not make a defensive build. Number two, understand that the 2K League, if it's truly based on this game, if they're using the exact same game we're using, it's garbage. It's totally fake. You can't trust anything that any of these guys are actually doing in game. And I'm not saying these guys actually suck at the game. They probably don't. They're probably really good at video games. But you can't claim you're good at a video game that gives you the kind of shots that I just showed you. Or takes them away. You can't claim that somebody sucks at a video game when shit like that's happening. When you play really good defense and you're right on top of the ball and your hand goes through the ball so they can make their scripted layup. I'm just done. Like, this is not a hateful fuck you 2K. I mean, I do feel that way. Absolutely. But this is an actual, like, saddened, heartfelt goodbye because I just can't do it anymore. I can't spend this kind of money on a video game for no results at all. Zero results. And I'm not looking to say, oh, I want to score 1,000 points a game and be the most dominant player ever. Well, actually, I am. That would be nice. That's the point of grinding to 99. But when I pay you $50 to get a head start, and I mean a major head start that literally for some builds fills in all your stats. A lot of people don't realize this. A lot of your big man builds, at 85, your stats are only going to go up about 5 more. 85 is your top build, and you can go look at your potential because your overall potential will be like a 78. And you'll be like sitting at 88. And you're like, why is my overall potential a 78? It's because your actual build is a fucking 78. You guys need to start looking at your potentials, not your overalls. Because once you hit 90, you get your real potential. The highest I've seen so far is this guy, this center. And he gets an A+ or an A flat out potential with a 88 overall max. And the reason it's like that is because when it calculates your potential, it doesn't calculate your crazy ass 60 something in 3. When every other center who's not a 3 build gets a 30. But yet they all get a 99 box out, and because I'm not a pure rebounder, I get an 80 box out. Like, the game makes no sense. The stats are all over the place. I really don't think there's any way for them to fix this, nor do I think they have any intent in doing so. They have already said flat out there's not going to be builds next year. When your reply to the problems of now are the solution of tomorrow, in other words, what we're going to do next time, it means you're not doing shit about this time. They're not going to fix this. They have an entire league based around it. They're not going to fix this. And if you seriously take every single YouTuber that you've seen that you have any type of respect for, that you actually watch their channel, and you put all of their videos complaining about this game together, you understand, like, this is horrible that you actually charged us money for this. And not only that, you've charged us an obscene amount of money for every little part of this. And every one of these is a different build. And none of them are truly dominant in like a flat out, if you play straight up, if you don't spam anything. Even the pure sharps. I mean, you can run up and, like I said, you can just shoot every shot from mid-range. You'll shoot about 20-something%. But if you take every single shot, you'll probably still win the game. Just because of the way threes add up. And all you got to do is get a stop maybe 20 to 50% of the time on the other side, and you're going to win. That's not basketball. That's not fucking basketball. Nothing about this game is really basketball. It's all just glitchy animation, scripted plays, builds you can't make, all and there's a reason for that. It's not really that they want you to suck at their game. Don't get this crooked. No. They give Chris Paul gold ankle breaker and gold defensive stopper at the same time for some reason. You can't get that build on any other build. But they give it to him to make you think that when you hit 99, you're going to be as good as Chris Paul. And I don't even know what they buff or nerf point guards on. I mainly use centers, so I can tell you about centers. And unless you're a pure rebounder, you will not be able to box out with most of these other centers, with about 90% of the centers in the game. The problem is, if you make a pure rebounder, you will not score against 90% of these centers in the game because they're pure rebounders. And they will jump up and block your shot every single time, or contest it enough where if you don't have a bunch of offensive badges, you're not going to score through it. The game is ridiculous. It sets us up for failure. It literally, I don't know. I'm done ranting. I don't want to complain anymore. This is my I'm done video. I fucking quit. I quit. Here's a shit ton of money wasted. I don't want to play it anymore. This is going to wind me up on my final point. I hate this game, not because it's scripted. I dislike it because it's scripted. I hate this game, not because of the glitched plays where they just shoot right through your fucking hands and shit like that when you should have a block or stuff like that. No. I dislike it because of that. I hate, and I mean fucking hate this game because it literally fist fucks you into failure every single turn. It constantly sets you up for failure at every single turn. That's why I have all these builds, guys. I don't do all these builds because I fucking just wanted 1,000 players. I started with this guy right here, a post-scoring defender. And then I realized that the only difference between a post-scoring defender and a pure post, badge-wise, was that the pure post only got bronze defensive stopper, and if you actually have a secondary, like you're a post-scoring defender, you get silver. Oh, but all your other badges drop one, and all your Hall of Fame badges drop. And once I realized that, and then I averaged the stats, it made no sense. It makes no sense to go from 86 or a 99 post score to an 86 with shittier badges just to add a silver defensive stopper when I have Hall of Fame defensive stopper on my lockdown. And I'm telling you, it does nothing. It does nothing if you play straight up games. It does nothing. I don't even see it activate 90% of the time. It's garbage. And I'm not kidding. That 88 overall right there is my lockdown. He's a pure lockdown small forward. Supposed to be able to guard anybody. That was the idea. It's garbage. And games where you do lock your guy down, they just move your guy to the side to over into the corner. And if you get off of them, Lord knows any build in the game can hit open threes if it's an NPC and you leave him open at the three. So you literally, as a lockdown, have to go stand in the fucking corner. That's what they do to you. Your guy just quits playing once he realizes that he can't score. And I guess maybe that's what they do in real basketball, but it doesn't make for a good video game. It sets you up for failure. You think you're going to be this amazing defender, and once you finally get to that point where you feel strong about defense, it doesn't play you. It sets you up for failure. I could go through every one of these builds is like that. The pure post, we just saw what happened. And it's because he only has a 65 shot block. That's why that ball went right through my hand. I didn't miss it. I didn't make a bad play. No, I have a 65 shot block, so they're allowed to glitch it right through my hands. It's fucked up. It's completely fucked up. Right here. Rebounding rim protector. He only gets a 78 shot block. Only an 82 box out. His entire thing is like the DeMarcus Cousins build without the three. Because you can't actually make that build. It's garbage. That build is absolute garbage. Because you have no offense. So like I get defensive stops about 50% of the time when they actually play me. So they actually score about 70-something percent of the time, and then I score about 10% of the time. Because even wide open jump shots where you think you just greened it, you'll miss. 6'6" pure sharp, realized very quickly some days you hit, some days you don't. It's scripted off your last game. It only took me about 10 games to realize that I would have like 1 or 2 really good games where I could hit everything, and then a game where I couldn't hit anything. And then you mix that with the way it scripts through the periods, where every time you hit a third period, it buffs the other team, and it's just garbage. Pure Sharp, just, it's horrible to play with. That one I just talked about, post-scoring defender. This was the 2K League build. I thought, that was my last build I made, I was like, maybe after all these builds, maybe it's just that we keep thinking we know best, and maybe I should just make a build that they actually use in the league. So he is a 7'1", 260 post-scoring rebounder. His stats are garbage compared to a pure post. They're not even close. Not even fucking close. His badges are not even close to a pure post. I'm talking rebounding also. He only gets silver rebounding badges. A pure post scorer gets silver rebounding badges. It makes no sense. It's a negative archetype. It doesn't make any sense, because you can make completely different archetypes get better badges and still get the exact same badges you get with a post scoring rebounder. I should say a rebounding post scoring. It's post scoring first, rebounding second. So it's a total waste. I wasted $50 right there. Total fucking waste. And there's no way I would know that. There's no way for you to really know that. You can look up the stats and everything, but putting it against what the computer says it is completely different, because the minute you change up your arm span or change up your height or change up your weight, everything changes. And 7'1", 260 for a center is actually one of the worst height and weights that you can possibly pick in the game. So, yeah. Small forward. Oh, that was my 3-point shooting playmaker. And shot creating sharpshooter. That's what he was. And the idea was that he would be big enough to play inside. And yet it's the LeBron build. It's about as close as you can get to the LeBron build. And what I realized very quickly was, even though he's a shot creating sharpshooter, I could drive all day long, barrel roll my way into the paint and score every time. Could not hit a three. He cannot hit a three. His overall three, even though he's a sharpshooting archetype, only goes to 80, maxed. Well, fuck you. Like, there's no point in that. There's no point in that. And he only gets, like, silver deep range Deadeye. That whole build's just garbage. This one, let's see. Oh, no, that's my lockdown, actually. I get Bulls and Rockets mixed up. So I mix these two up. So that's my lockdown that I was just talking about. That's the build, the shot creating sharp or whatever. Garbage-ass build for a small forward. Just garbage. It turned out really bad really fast. Not to mention you have zero defense. So every offensive build in the game has zero defense. Yeah. This build's actually pretty decent to use. It's a shot creating playmaker. And so literally you get gold every badge. It's the Chris Paul badge, or the Chris Paul build. Without gold defensive stopper, you don't get any defensive stopper. Yeah, because that build doesn't exist in the game. But Chris Paul gets like gold ankle breaker, gold dimer, gold difficult shots. Like, he gets gold everything. And that's kind of what this build is. But it has no defense, and they expose you on it very quickly. And I realized right away that, yeah, I could pass the ball, I could make plays, I could dribble a little bit, but there's no blow-bys. So having ankle breaker really doesn't mean shit this year. There's no point in it, unless you really want to play some boring-ass basketball where you go around and pass the ball and you're too small to set picks. Like, it's just stupid. This was my 7-3 pure post, the spam build that everybody's using on the park. And I get it. It's a really good build in the park. And it was really, I took it to 90 because I was playing on the Warriors and I didn't realize how much the team you're playing on actually matters. If you're not playing on the Warriors, you're going to lose games. If you're playing on the Warriors, you will never lose a game. That's pretty much what it comes down to. Because every other team in the game plays normal, and the Warriors just, you can't, there's nothing you can do. If you're on the Warriors, you will win every time. But I realized very quickly I started matching him against He's a 7'2", 276 pure post. This guy's a 6'11", 265 pure post. And what I realize is their strength is exactly the same. Their box out is exactly the same. All of their like post scoring stuff, all of their big man stuff is exactly the same. What's not the same is this guy gets like a 40 something speed, a 40 something vertical, all these like really, really crazy low stats with shitty ass ball handling, no mid range. It's a garbage build for anything other than scoring right at the rim. This guy has the exact same stats and abilities. Height does not matter this year. He has the exact same stats and abilities at scoring in the rim, but he also gets like a 70-something mid-range and a fucking 60-something ball control and a 75 passing and all these like 60 overall vertical. He soars all over people to where they have dialogue in the game that talks specifically about how crazy high this guy jumps. He totally outdid this build. So the actual park build that people are using is garbage. I don't think people realize there's another build in the game that's 1,000 times better on the stats. And even at the overall potential on this one when you hit 90 is an A-. I think it's a 84 overall, or maybe an 86. This guy's an A, 88 overall. So like even in the overall potential, he's higher. Everything about him is better. That's why you notice I haven't even used that build in forever. It's shit. And that was the original spam build, the pure shot creator, 6'3", the Ticino build. And, you know, God love Ticino for spamming that shit, trying to get to 99 or whatever. Because that is one of the most boring fucking builds to play on. It really is. It is so fucking boring to play on. Yeah, you can score, but you have to do the same shit over and over again. Step backs or drop backs or whatever, side steps, into shots, or fucking pick and rolls for 3 points. It's just boring over and over and over again. So that's why I ended up sticking with this build. And yeah, there's all my builds, guys. That's my little bit of history with the game. I put in the time, I put in the effort. I mean, as you can see, this guy's a 90 overall. It took 48 games. It takes right around 50 games to get to 90 overall if you play straight up. If you're not spamming shit. And I'm telling you, it's just not worth it. It's in no way even close to worth it. This game is horrible. It's horrible this year. And it's because 2K forgot they were a video game. That's why it's horrible. 2K forgot that they were a video game. They thought that they were a sport already. And you're not. You're not even close, because a sport has to have very defined rules. Otherwise, either team can claim this or that, and they got a win or a loss because of this or that. No. You have to have very defined rules so men can judge themselves, and women can judge themselves against each other based on these rules. This is how sports works. You cannot have me go and block a shot and the ball goes through my hands and me to expect to believe that anything matters in this game if that kind of shit is happening. And I've had that happen a bunch of times. That's not the first time. It happens all the time. It's constant. You can almost tell when the game's scripted to score on you. You know, if you don't believe me, go play a third period. Like, what the fuck, man? You know right at the beginning of the third period, every game I've ever played, it's been the same. The beginning of the third period, the other team just gets a crazy boost to their stats. You can't hit anything, and they will destroy you if you don't play really smart. It's every game. I mean, if it was 1 or 2 and I just got an ass whooping, I'd have to take it. But when it's every single game and it's just a part of the game I know I have to play through, it's stupid. It's fucking stupid, and it's not a game that we can test ourselves against. It's scripted. And I'm out. I'm just out. I no longer have any enjoyment actually grinding the games. I have to play, I calculated out, it's somewhere between 25 and 30 more games to get to 91. I don't want to. I just don't want to. Like, I love basketball games. I mean, you can tell by how much I stream. You can tell by how many fucking builds I have and how much I played each one. I love basketball games. I've given this game every fucking chance I could. I have thrown my money at it to try and make it better. A couple of these builds are the YouTube video builds where, oh, if you want to dominate the game. Bullshit. If you're playing straight up, bullshit. The game's scripted as fuck. And you have a league based on this. Like, I don't know. I'm done. That's it. This was probably like a 20-minute rant already. I doubt anybody's even going to watch this shit, man. Nobody really even watches the streams for this game anymore. It's just, I can't believe it hasn't completely died. I know it has. Because 2K is already talking about 2020, and that's exactly what they did in 2K18 when they were done. And they didn't want to fix anything else. Was they started talking about 2K19. And now they're already saying, well, in 2K20, we won't have builds. Like, yeah, well, here we go. No, I'm out. I'm out. This YouTuber is absolutely done with 2K. I'm really worried about Borderlands. I'm really fucking worried about Borderlands. I really am. You know, they're supposed to be having the new Borderlands coming out next year. That's a 2K game, guys. It's a 2K game. It's the same people. You notice I haven't brought up the names Mike Wang or Ronnie 2K or any. These guys are just stupid fucking figureheads. They don't matter. This whole idea that Agent is filling, that Agent 00 faggot, he's filling everybody's fucking head with this idea that Mike Wang's sitting there with his finger on the sliders. You're an idiot, dude. You're a fucking idiot. Do you have any idea what goes into coding this shit? Mike Wang has no control over that shit. He may go into a board meeting with the people who actually do the coding and say, well, this is what the gamers are talking about, and this is what they're saying, and the coders are going to go, okay. And then they're going to go back and say, all right, guys, what numbers work with what numbers? How can we fit this in without breaking the rest of the game? That's what they're doing. So what Agent is telling you guys about Mike Wang having control over this shit and Ronnie 2K, it's total bullshit. That's total bullshit. That guy's a fucking sponsored streamer. And you can see what sponsorship does to you. Go look at his old videos. Go look at his new videos. This isn't supposed to be an Agent hate video. I've gotten to the point where I can't stand that dude. The more I watch his videos, the more of them I've seen. And I just started watching like maybe 6 months ago. I already unsubbed. Like, I'm just like, this dude's full of shit. Like, he's totally full of shit. And you don't realize it until you actually watch him for a while and you realize, like, he's just a clickbait bitch who tries to, like, bag on everybody else who clickbaits. Like, it's pretty sad. Sponsored, whatever. Like, I guess maybe sometimes you want sponsorship and you want to be like, I want to hear the opinion of somebody who's getting paid by the people for the opinion. But sometimes you want somebody who's not. And it's funny how every time you get somebody who's not, you tend to get something completely different. But whatever, dude. Take your little fat Popeye's ass somewhere else. I don't even watch this shit anymore. And mix that with the fact that I'm done with 2K. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter. I won't be buying next year's game. I have no interest in it. And I'll be surprised if I play this game at all anymore. It's just horrible. It's just bad. It's just bad in every way. It's not that, you suck at the game. I just listed for 30 minutes all these different things. Every one of these. It's not that there's one thing. There's 1,000 fucking things that are just horrible. That it's like, how could this even happen? How are we going to have builds in the game that we can't make? Even if we're willing, I understand you're not going to be able to make the build and be it right away. But working your way to 99, you should be able to be that build. Nope. Steph Curry's build is one of them. And it's not just that you can't get those badges. Take Steph Curry, for instance. He gets a 99 three-pointer. Okay, that makes sense, right? Yeah. He also gets a 99 mid-range. And like an 87 layup. Oh, yeah, and like an 80, I think it's like an 86 or 87 ball control, if not higher. Oh, and I think he also has either gold or silver ankle breaker, which is crazy. It just mixes a bunch of badges that you cannot get together with a bunch of stats. that you cannot get together. That build doesn't exist. You cannot make that build in the game. I don't know. I can't do it anymore. I can't do it anymore. This game has literally been a drain on me. And you may think, well, that's kind of your fault. It's a video game, dude. Yeah, I totally agree. That's why I'm through. Is I spent so much fucking money on this game for it to be a drain. Nothing but a drain. A mental anguish. And in a constant, like I said, and I'll wrap it up with this point, in a constant push to fail. Because that's what this game is. It's a constant setup to fail. Every build you make, they're going to nerf it. Even if it is good. Even if it is good. If you find a build and you're like, wow, I don't know what you're talking about, dude. This build's amazing. Wait. Because as soon as 2K finds out that you're able to beat their game, they're going to nerf your shit. As soon as 2K finds out that you can hit with that jump shot, they're going to take away that jump shot. They've been doing this since 2K15. 2K16, they went crazy with it. 2K17 was nuts. Most people quit that game within the first month. 2K18, we just wanted a basketball game so bad that we were willing to take just about anything. So they just slapped sponsorships on everything. And here we are in 2K19. They gave us the exact same game as last year. But they took out all of the fun stuff. They took out all the step-back jumpers, all the fucking blow-bys and all that shit. And added in about twice the scriptedness. So there's nothing we can do about it now. Except for the, 3 or 4 plays that people have figured out. And there's, like I said, there's YouTube videos about this. There's 3 or 4 plays that get you the exact same thing every time. And you can use those plays to score. And that's how people spam and they get 200 points per game and all that good stuff. Which, there's one more point. Why does somebody who goes in and spams the exact same play, plays an extremely shitty basketball, that would be completely shut down on any real basketball court very quickly? Why do they get 100K XP per game, but I go in, struggle my ass off, put up a 40-point triple-double, and I only get 20? Why would I keep playing? Like I said, once again, it sets you up for failure. And the harder you work, the more you put into it, the less you get out of it. That's really what 2K is now. And then you want me to believe, on top of all of this, on top of the 30 minutes worth of rant that I've done, that the guys that play in the 2K League are professional gamers? I don't fucking think so. I don't think so one bit. I would bet money. I would bet real money if you put 90% of those guys up against professional gamers, like the guys who actually do COD tournaments and stuff like these sponsored guys who are actually killing everybody around them like it's nothing. Teach them how to play the game. These guys, it's not just that they understand mechanics of a game. Their actual response times are that of military. It's insane how fast some of these guys' response times are. 2K League is not producing those kind of players, especially not when you can just shoot through people's hands or spam the same fucking plays over and over again. That doesn't develop into intelligent gameplay or good gameplay. And even when you're leaving that out, building your player doesn't develop him into a better player. Once you hit 85, your stats past that really don't go that much higher. They really don't. How you play at 85 with silver and gold badges, actually silver, really it's silver. How you play at 85 with silver badges is just a little bit below, just a tiny little bit below in what he specializes at from what you're going to be like at 90 to 91 with Hall of Fame. But yeah, we're talking about a 30-hour grind to 91. From 89 to 91, I think it's like a 31-hour grind. Are you fucking serious? Why would I do that? Why would you? No. Better question. Why would you do that? I've done it for you. I've done it 3 times. I've done the grind in 90. And not once has it been worth it. Twice, actually no, every time, because he did too. When I hit 90 with him, his speed went from 66 to 66, yet it cost me to get that point. This guy had like 3 points. That's why I quit on him real quick. I got so mad about that. I hit 90 with this build. He's a post-scoring defender. When I hit 90, 3 of the stats I got gave me nothing. Not only that, I went ahead and leveled up the one stat that actually raised, I think, my layup or something like that. And it didn't move me to 90. It stayed at 89. And then any of the other 3 stats, the other 3 bars that gave me nothing, that didn't actually change the stat, moved me to a 90. So there's another thing for you. Your overall is not based on your actual stats. It's based on how many of those little gold bars you have out of your total amount that you can have. Has nothing to do with how good your player actually is whatsoever. And the proof, I've actually, there's videos on my channel. I did a video about it because I was so fucking angry. I couldn't believe. Are you serious? Like, not only do you not give me anything, but it doesn't matter anyways? Because our overall is not even based on that? It's only based on how many gold bars you have. And it doesn't matter if those gold bars raise or lower your stats. It doesn't matter. This game is garbage. This game is absolute garbage. I just ran it for 30 minutes about 50 different things that have all been happening since day one. And we've had no real fixes whatsoever. If you think this game's really good, you're blind or you're spamming. I'm sorry. And I've talked to a lot of people who play the way I do who are like, yeah, I don't like to spam. Like, God bless those who do. I'm not trying to talk shit about you. I'm not trying to put you down. But I don't do that. I want to play straight up basketball. And everyone I've met, literally everyone I've met who plays the same way is like, yeah, this game's horrible. It's just not fun to play at all. Because we want to play straight up basketball, but we want to dominate. This is supposed to be a fantasy. I get it if they want to turn up the difficulty and craziness for those that are trying to get into the 2K League because you want the absolute best in there. I totally get that. But I have not played one game in the Pro-Am. I have no intention, zero fucking intention of ever having anything to do with the 2K League. Zero. And I made that choice on day one back in 2016 when I first started streaming 2K. And I screamed about how fucked up it was. The minute that video got posted, there's no way I was ever going to make any 2K League. Because they're already booting current players for having negative opinions on YouTube channels. It's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. Not to mention they're stealing their monetization and all this kind of stuff. The whole thing's crazy. And then you show me a game like this with like plays like what I showed you in the very beginning of this video. And you tell me that these are professional gamers, that I'm supposed to, like, cheer for them? And be like, you're so amazing. Why? Because you can shoot through people's hands? Because you can spam the same fucking plays over and over again? Like, I guess maybe for the league, you'll find out who the best players are at this. But I do not in any way think that the 2K League players can be compared to actual professional gamers. And it kind of makes sense. They make $30,000 a year, a professional gamer. A real pro who's like sponsored and all that is probably making a couple hundred. So, yeah, it kind of speaks for itself just out of what they were willing to pay them. And I think it's because they know it's bullshit. I think 2K knows just as well as anybody else that it's bullshit. And that basketball is just too much a game of a chance to actually make a game that can be realistic, that can be truly realistic. You just can't do it. There's too many factors. There's just too many factors. And so you got to give the player the edge. You have to. And that's why we have difficulties. If you don't want to have the edge, you turn up the difficulty. But when the lowest difficulty means that I'm still facing a completely scripted game where they're shooting through my hands and shit, why would I grind to get better? Honestly, my block could be a 99 if he's going to shoot right through my hands. All that works for nothing because your game's broke. So, I don't know. I hope points were all made. This was a rant. There's no hiding it. But it's the last one because I'm done. I'm done. I hope they fix this game and I hope people enjoy it. I can't. I literally can't. Like, literally, it makes me angry to the point of violence. Like, to where I literally want to commit violence because of this game. And that's got to scream that there's something wrong with me. So I got to get away from this shit. Because there is. Anybody who's watched my channel enough, I'm a disabled veteran. I have PTSD, dysmorphia, and aggressive compulsive disorder. I do not handle being fucked very easily, to put it lightly. And literally, so I'm on the lookout for that. And this game fucks you at every turn. It literally is a complete and total setup for failure. And for that reason, I'm out.